Guys. Basically, I'm going to take you through a quick walkthrough in regards to the Weeby site that we're going to be working on as far as a virtual portfolio. So I've deleted mine and we'll start right from scratch. Basically, this is the sign-in page that you should be getting through your email. Type in your username, password, okay, log in. Go ahead and choose whichever domain name you choose. Okay, so we'll go with the one that I did before. Okay, it is available. I will continue. We're just going to get rid of this. We don't need the tutorial. I don't want to save it. Okay, so coming to this particular site, we now get to opportunity to choose sort of what we want to do, where our pages are going to sit, if there's any kind of a theme. When we start looking, so the first thing I want you to do is go over to changing your theme. You're going to come to a theme gallery. We don't need an online store. We can choose our portfolio. Super simple. It's usually only 1 to 3 pages. You can kind of tell by the numbers or the little pieces on the top how many pages are available. You can change this at any time, so it's more or less you pick something, start adding stuff in, and then you go, oh, I like it or I don't, and then you can change it up as you want. Okay, so if we come back up, I'm just going to randomly, you know what, I'm going to pick this one. So I can preview it. I'm just going to choose it for the sake of simplicity. Okay, so it's got my site. It's very simple. It's drag and drop. And more or less now it's you tailoring what you would like to place on the site itself. So we're going to go to my site and you can change it. And so I can go ahead and say it's called pause and paintings, or I could just type in my portfolio. I could put pause and paintings down here and have my portfolio. Okay. And then dragging elements. Now this particular one at this point in time is 1 page. All right. So when I go to my pages, this is my home. That's it. All right. I'm going to add a page. So home, if I click on it, you'll see page name. I'm going to go ahead and put sketchbook. And that would be what I would open up on, which means this home will, when I come back, change to sketchbook. That's the page name. When I go to pages itself, so I'll get out of sketchbook, it just says pages at the top, I can add a page, standard page. Page name is now going to be called Studio. Okay, and I'm going to put it all in capitals just like everybody else. Okay, apparently I can't. Okay, so Studio. If you want to change the header type, so this one will be the exact same as my sketchbook. It has a header. It is visible, which means that it's showing up at the top here. If I wanted to create a secondary page that you can't see, that you need a link from one page to the next, I can change the visibility. Now this one here, I could put it as site password. I'm not going to. We're going to leave it as is. Most people will not be able to find your site because it is not a paid site. You need to have the Weeby at the end, and it's very difficult. Okay. Hiding in navigation means it wouldn't come up here. So I'm going to go done. Now I've got 2 pages. Okay. I've got the sketchbook. So again, this is, we'll put up here. Portfolio, and this is going to be, I don't like that. Sketchbook, we go to Studio, click over here, and I put studio. Now I basically got my virtual pages set up. If you want to go more complex than this and you want to have a home page that then has 2 pages that associate with, I'll take you through that in a second. For now, this is the easiest you need to be. We go to Sketchbook, we go ahead and we click on Edit Background. Okay, I can go ahead and add an image of my choosing, which I would prefer. So I could go add image. I can go and upload an image that is mine, or for this purposes, I'm going to scroll through, try and find something. There's that cat nose I used previously. What's art related? There's art related. So there's my one. I'm going to select it. Okay. Maybe not the best for Sketchbook, so I could say, well, it's more of a studio piece. I'm going to go ahead and change that again. Make my MacBook. So again, edit background. We're going to edit. Come on. Okay, well, we'll leave it for now, I guess. Save. Replace. Cancel. Studio. Add background. Image. Add image. Okay, and again, I'll go down here and choose something art related or whatever sort of is interesting to you. Okay. Again, if you want to upload your own photos, you can do so. Okay. And then I've got basically my 2 pieces here. Now, for the basic elements of this, if we go to Sketchbook, okay, we'll save it. Sorry. If we go to our Sketchbook, now we need to start adding items. So as you complete them, on Google Classroom, I'll have a list of your sketchbooks. More or less, you just need to title them as such, and I'll kind of go through that here. So if we go back to Build, up at the top section here, you have 2 options. You can either choose to take an entire image, drop it in, okay, take another image, drop it in, and continue adding these things. So I can go ahead and upload from my computer. I've got ahead and I've downloaded, so we're going to take a sketch open. Okay, so I've got a sketchbook assignment there. When I click on this, there's going to be a series of sort of information. I want you to go down to caption. And so for this one, I would put sketchbook number 1 and whatever the particular, okay, so say it was a flower. Okay, so there's my sketchbook number 1 is going to be a flower. I click back. Everything else is there, and I can release it. Now it's got the little title that's down below, and I can see exactly what I'm marking. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, we'll delete these. And again, it's all drag and drop. Just if you don't like something, delete it, start again. Publish occasionally, okay, and it will actually bring you to your site so you can see how that goes. The other option is doing a gallery. Now, galleries are a little bit simplistic, but at the same time, there's a couple more things that I'll expect of you to do them. So if I go ahead and I drop gallery in, I can put multiple images rather than having to partition and separate. Again, I'm going to upload, and I'm going to choose 3 images. Okay, so I'll upload all 3. Come on. Okay, so I'll try that again. Add images. I'm not a MacBook user, so this is do this one more time. When we deal with galleries, what you're going to have to take a look at is the idea that they're small thumbnails. And so we need to be able to blow them up so that I can have a better look at them. I don't know why they're not uploading. So they're not showing, however, there's no, okay. So if you have a gallery, even though the photos are not showing, it's still giving me the prompts that you would need. You would go to your caption and you would type your title in again. Okay. The other thing that you need to do is set the entire box. So you click off your pictures, but in the actual gallery box. And you're going to take a look at, you can, again, change your columns up and down. So if you want to have more pictures or less, if there's only 10 assignments, you may only have 2. And then it's 5 rows of 2. Okay. Caption, again, you'll be able to see. Click, I want you to go to the light box and full thumbnails. Okay, and you would click that. Okay, display on hover is not a big deal. What this essentially does is that when I go to your gallery, I can click on a photo and it will blow up to a larger size so that I can take a better look at it. Okay? And that's going to be the same for when we do the studio assignments. If you choose to do the gallery, you need to go into, okay, clicking on the gallery, finding your caption, and then have the thumbnail is full. All right. You also need to add a caption, which is on each individual picture. So you would click on the picture and click a caption. Okay. Let's go over to our studio side. So we go into the studio side and I decide that I want to put an explanation of what the piece is, other than just the caption that we discussed previously. So if I go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to choose my image root. Again, paying attention to those blue bars, because if I don't want to have them just over top, I can cut them over to the side and I can still have 2 images. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and upload from my computer, and I'll bring in some doggies. Okay. You can see how with this type of a situation I might decide, you know what, I'm going to have another image somewhere over in here. You kind of have to play with it in regards to how to get another second image in here, or if I want to shrink something. Clicking on the image, again, taking a look at the caption, and I would type in the name of the title as well as what it is made out of. If you're doing acrylics, type in the size and the medium that is used. So in this case, it would be, I'm trying to remember what this dog's name was. I think it was Duke. Duke, and it was acrylic on canvas, and it was 18 by 24 inches. Okay. And that way when I look at it, I can see what's going on. When you're dealing with something like this, if you want to change your font, or if you want to add font to or text or more explanation of what's going on, clicking on things, typing, this is going to be your change of color. If you want to link it to something, so create a link, standard page, or to an email. If you used inspiration and you want to link artists, so for the 30s, you guys will be doing a 4-artist study. When you have these 4 artists, you're probably going to want to have 4 website links that will prompt you. So you'll have names of the 4 artists and then highlight. So if I said that I want to do, say I did a Picasso as one of my inspirations, I would simply highlight that name. I would go to the link, website URL, and I would type in the link of where I got the photo or where I got my information from, so that I have reference to see where and make sure that there's no copyright infringement. Okay, so that's kind of another option that you have. Most of the ones that have these little stars or these little electric bolts, these are things that are paid functions. You can import YouTube videos, so if you, again, used a YouTube video or you want to upload a YouTube video of yourself participating or completing the task, you're more than welcome to do that. The more interaction, the better. It kind of helps with the communication to see what you're doing. And then if you are someone who would like to have a home page that links to these two. So we'll go back to our pages from here. I'm going to go ahead and create a standard page. It is going to be, I'm just going to put it as my portfolio. Okay, and then it's going to be done. I'm going to drag this up to the top so it becomes my home page. Okay. If you can use Microsoft Word, you should be fine with this. Okay, so my portfolio, and then I could sit there and go, you know what, I don't want images, I just want 2 buttons. And we're going to put them side by side. And then you can click on this and I can say I'm on the middle. My button style is maybe going to be the bigger version. And the button text will be sketchbook. Okay, and we do the same thing. Only this time we put studio. And sorry, I'm working with one hand here. Why is it not working for me? Center button. There we go. Okay, studio. I now have 2 links that I can basically click on. Again, link, standard page, and I would go to sketchbook. Done. Studio, okay, link, standard page, studio. Now if I didn't want these up on the top, again, going over to my portfolio, I can go here and go hide in navigation, studio, hide in navigation, which now I have, when I log into my portfolio, I basically have my portfolio, my portfolio, my portfolio, and I've got 2 buttons. Buttons could be replaced with photos or images. Images are the same. You would just put a link to. So when I publish, okay, it will be to pause and paintings, continue. I can go ahead and click and take a look. Now I've got my portfolio. I can click on sketchbook. There are the 3 images that I have. When I click on it, it opens up to make sure that it's nice and large for me to see. Okay, because I had that setting. Right? And then if I want to come now, I'm in a problem. Oh, takes me back. I go to studio. Here's my studio assignments. And these will not enlarge because they were separate images in themselves. So if you're using something that's smaller like this, again, making sure that I can somehow enlarge it. So if I go back to here, and I go ahead back to my pages, I go back to Studio, I can click on this, and again, Lightbox, just open it up so that I can see it, caption, right, it's already there. And done. Publish it again. And that should open it up for me. Okay. This should get you started. Again, you can just choose to do 2 pages. You can choose to do a home page and then a multiple amount. So there, once I've got that light box popped up, now I can see it bigger. So make sure you're checking that off. If you have any questions, please email me, let me know, and I can definitely address individual concerns or problems. But I would like for you to try and have a base portfolio with your first assignment, so your first painting, in the studio assignments, as well as your first sketchbook assignment, which was mythological creature, in your sketchbook assignments by next week. Okay, I'd like to be able to see, I would say by Wednesday is a fair date to request that you have the website up with some sort of imagery and your first assignment and first sketchbook assignment in the actual dialogue so that I can take a look, and then we can run into any kind of individual issues that you may be having. All right? I hope you enjoyed that. I have no idea how to turn this off now.